Okay, gluten and dairy free. Gluten and dairy free. What's up, every guy? That's not my intro. What's up, lovely people, and welcome back to my channel. For those that have just joined me, thank you so much for your support. Today we're going to be making a lemon chia seed drizzle loaf. I have found from this book here, this is gluten free by Victoria Hall. As it's not dairy free, I'm going to be adjusting certain things, quite a few ingredients actually, because a few things in here which I will not be adding based on preference. So we'll see how it goes. This is a come and cook with me video. So be patient, it's going to be worth it. It's going to be fun. And if you're not going to be cooking with me, then see how I get on with it. If anyone's seen my short video about the bread I've made, you'll see why I find this so funny. Honestly, that video has made my day, and anyone that's watched it, anyone that's liked it or disliked it, because it's there for opinions. I just think my mind was blown from the reactions from it. It's just so funny. It's just so funny. Let's reel this video back in, shall we? So this particular recipe, I can't wait to try it because I love anything with lemon. Don't know what that was. With this particular recipe, you're going to need to prepare your, oh God, it took me about 20 minutes to prepare my ingredients. So I would suggest that you do that, and I will go through them quickly and then we can start baking.
Okay, to get started on this, we're going to need some plant-based milk, 1 cup of that. Then we need 1 3/4 cup of plain flour, gluten-free, 1 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, which I'll point to now, and then the zest of 2 whole lemons, 3 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder, and 1/4 teaspoon of xanthan gum. I've got 2 egg equivalent of a egg alternative that I will show here. And then we've got 5 tablespoons of softened butter without salt in it. I've used Vitallife dairy free. 1 tablespoon of coconut oil melted instead of sunflower oil. And then 2 tablespoons of chia seeds. So that's all you need.
Welcome back. So you should have all your ingredients now. So I'm just going to put my very Christmassy looking apron on. This is optional. I can be quite messy sometimes when I'm baking. I'm quite tidy in the other areas, but for some reason baking, it just becomes a storm of, I was about to swear then, a storm of just, yeah, you know when I've been here when I bake. Okay, let's get started on this recipe, shall we?
In a jug, we're going to be putting our wet ingredients. That would be the milk. And then we're going to be adding our oil. Make sure that's melted, not solidified by that point. And then we've got the egg alternative. This one I've not used before, but it mixed really well. And I would say this is probably the best consistency I've used in terms of egg alternatives. So I will definitely be using this again. And then the final part is you just have to make sure it's all combined together in the jug and there's no lumps in here. So you have to keep stirring quite vigorously because the egg replacement, it can be quite thick, as opposed to you be adding your eggs in there if this is just gluten-free and not gluten and dairy-free. So just keep mixing that together, and then we're going to be starting on our dry ingredients. So in a large bowl, we're going to be including our flour, get that in there, and then we're going to be putting our lemon zest, our salt, our xanthan gum and baking powder in there, making sure that's all in there and nothing is left behind. And then we're going to be adding our softened room temperature butter. I could have used a bigger bowl, but I felt that it fitted in there quite nicely, but just to kind of make sure that it is softened up, probably use a bigger bowl I would recommend. With my impeccably clean hands, we're going to be starting on incorporating those ingredients in there. The one thing you probably see me add shortly is I then remember that I need to add the sugar, so I'll be adding the sugar soon, but by this point everything should be like a breadcrumb consistency. And then I add the sugar, And then I would continue doing this quite softly, trying to get the butter between your fingers and really just rub it between your index finger and your thumb. And yeah, this is pretty much all you need to do for this particular point before you add the wet ingredients. Okay, so now we've got the dry and wet ingredients. You're going to be incorporating them both together. So I put about 3/4 of the jug worth in the dry mixture, just so that the flour and all the dry ingredients doesn't get everywhere, and really just try and incorporate it as much as I can before I add the rest of it. And then what I do now is just to make sure that the batter is really well thoroughly combined, that there isn't any lumps. So I just keep mixing here. This is going to take about 3 to 5 minutes according to the recipe, with a handheld mixer at medium speed. But yeah, I'm just on my own, so I'm just going to keep whisking as much as I can and just use my own judgment. This kind of consistency reminded me of like really thick ice cream. It was just really nice to mix. I've never had a batter like it before. And then I added the chia seeds. This particular recipe is poppy seeds, so I just omit them and use that. As you can see, I smelt it, because honestly, this batter smelt amazing. It was so fresh from the lemon zest. And just keep whisking. And then you can kind of just tell when it needs to be whisked even more. But by this point, it was just glorious, so I just stopped. So I then realized I hadn't pressed record, but I put the batter inside of a parchment paper lined tin, and I then put it in the oven for 40 to 45 minutes. By this point, I found that I just wanted to keep an eye on it, so I actually ended up putting it in for 30 minutes and then checked on it and then put it in for a further 10 minutes. If you could smell my kitchen right now, I cannot wait to eat this. That's my laundry. Don't watch that. Don't watch that. After about 40 minutes, I checked on it, but then I needed to go back in again. So then I put it in for a further 5 minutes, got a chopstick to check and see if it's cooked, and we didn't have any wet batter. I poked a few holes here or there just to see if it was cooked, and it was perfect. And then I transferred the loaf onto the kitchen counter just to air off, and then, oh, look how beautiful this looks. And then we're going to be ready to do the glaze.
The smell in this kitchen is so good. I'm so glad it's worked out. Obviously, we haven't done the taste test yet, but right now we're going to be doing the glaze. Here we've got 2 lemons which have been zested that we used in the loaf, and then we've got 1 cup of granulated sugar. So it's recommended that you drizzle this on when the loaf or the cake is warm. I'm gonna put that in here. Move that out of the way. That's 1. And now for the taste test, I've just cut a piece. Oh my God. You can see the steam coming off of this. The sweetness of the glaze and the crunch of the chia seeds and that lemon zest that's in there is very, very fresh. and you can see the crumb. It's just amazing. And the alternatives of the whole milk to the oat milk has made the, I think, has made the batter even thicker, and it's just so soft, and oh my god, it's so soft. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Whoa, if you've made this with me, you will know how good this tastes. I'm not really one to be making reviews about certain foods unless I really love it, and this was literally live in the moment. Like, you've seen me eat it, and if I didn't like the taste of it, I would have told you, definitely. In regards to the bread scenario, like, I just used the wrong flour. That was it, and I forgot to put the baking powder in there because yeah, I'm going to be doing more of these baking shows. I do normally do more cooking than baking, so this is a fun area that I will be definitely enjoying more. But look, it's just, I could eat all of that. Yeah, I'm set, I'm sold. Thank you, Victoria. And if you've liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Comment down below. If you haven't subscribed already, please do, because more content's coming. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I'm revving to go, and I'm just so happy to be able to make the content. And thank you for anyone that's commented on my videos so far, suggested content, just coming along with the journey, because from the way it looks like, it's going to be a delicious and fun one. So yeah, see you in the next one, guys. Bye.